But yeah, that is about it for this quick update video. Again, monologue should be up within the week. And I will talk to you all later.
Oops. Hello, anyone who cares to stick around. I'm still existing, surprisingly. So that last update video was turned into kinda a straight up lie due to wonderful things such as college and depression. I'm not here to tell you, oh, I have all these plans and new videos coming, you'll see, because that is actually a psychological way to not get things done. But I am here to talk about a podcast that I am doing with my tortured guinea pig, also known as a friend, Cameron. It's called Cinema Roulette. A movie podcast where Cameron and I spin a wheel, and whatever film it lands on, we watch and do a little summary and review. Now, some questions are probably arising in your mind, which is without a doubt blown by the mere idea of a film podcast, since it has never been done before. Questions like, how did you come up with such a brilliant idea? Why are you doing this? And can you please just never open your mouth again? To answer the last question first, at some point, but not today. Okay, there's only one real question here. Why do a film podcast? See, I was listening to other film podcasts and enjoying them, stuff like Film Spy and How Did This Get Made. And at the time, me and Cameron were watching TV shows over Discord, then would usually talk about them for an hour or two afterwards anyway. So why not record it? Plus, I love randomizers like video game challenges where weapons are pure RNG, like in TF2 custom games. So why not randomize what we watch? We also love movies and have been meaning to see certain films with each other, so let's do movies and TV. Then Cinema Roulette just happened to roll off the tongue and boom! Podcast! So yeah, basic reasoning of just getting an excuse to watch movies and shows with a friend and then talk about it, making our own log of what we've seen. Well, that was the original reasoning, at least, and is still one of the main reasons. But there is something else I feel has been coming up as we plan our next film wheel. The podcast is also a reminder of more forgotten films and shows. Now, before I sound pretentious, think for a moment how many movies have you shoved onto your Netflix list to watch later and never do? Or how many times have you been talking about movies and someone says, hey, remember that film? And whatever they say immediately clicks in your head and you just respond, oh yeah, that was great. No one really talks about it anymore, huh? You might have had that thought when I mentioned Angel Beats or Eden of the East. It's movies and shows like that I think are good to talk about, because the only podcasts I found talk either about new films, horror films, or just bad flicks. Which there is no problem with that. There is just this ocean of content not many people touch or remember. Since 1900, there has been, on average, over 2,500 films produced each year around the world. How many of those are talked about, or do more than a handful of people know about? I'd like to point out as well, we still do talk about mainstream films. We aren't just digging through the bargain bin at Walmart for films no one remembers, or digging through South Korea's experimental films just so we can be pretentious. Because I haven't watched a lot of classics, and Cameron has missed a bunch as well. Hell, we covered films like Star Wars Episode 8 and Jaws, but I've also covered films like Seeking a Friend for the End of the World and the original Assault on Precinct 13. I will also say, me and Cameron made a list of things we won't watch on the show that will be discussed in full in a later episode. But just as an example, Game of Thrones is never going to be on the wheel, since there are multiple podcasts and videos on YouTube analyzing every episode. So there isn't much for us to cover. Same goes for The Room and Troll 2. It's been talked to death and there's nothing to add. But yeah, I think that is about it. The show is 30 minutes to an hour each episode and comes out at least once a month. It would be more often, but me and Cameron have other things going on. This isn't our job. And like I said, this is just an excuse to watch movies and shows together. If people watch and enjoy it, that is a bonus. Either way, it is more content involving me if that is what you truly desire. I will leave a link in the description, and there should be one on screen to the playlist. Subscribe to Cameron's channel for future episodes of Cinema Roulette, and subscribe here in case I do actually do something.